Oh good god, folks, Quantum TV is throwing another pity party, this time about a video ReviewTechUSA made making fun of Quantum TV's homophobia, which he took as a direct insult to his sexuality and his religion, and he just had to make a video on it, which we're gonna cover today. So let's get into it.
So ReviewTechUSA links me to his community post where he shows a picture of me looking like this, and, I guess he thinks it's funny. A little juvenile for a man of his age, but whatever. And I watched the video, and now he's attacking my sexual orientation and my religion with remarks like I'm some sort of closeted homosexual or, all this weird stuff.
Well, to be fair, Quantum has attacked the sexuality of the entire LGBT community and wished death upon every single one of them by asking things like, why weren't you a Pulse victim? And when he got called out on it, do you know what his response was? They deserve it. Quantum's exact words. Quantum, my guy, you have no leg to stand on here, and to say respect my sexuality when you don't respect others' sexuality is downright despicable to me and countless others. Respect goes two ways, Quantum, and you really don't deserve it, and while I don't approve of attacking anyone for religion, that does seem to be where this homophobia stems from.
And it just upon YouTube telling them that my active channel that has no termination, that has no infraction against it is fine, I'm not violating terms of service, and all their other accusatory statements of copyright abuse has come up fruitless as well, that this is what they've now gone to, attacking a man's religion.
No one ever said that it was Quantum's main channel getting terminated for free speech. It was his Quantum Apotheosis one, and after that channel was banned from YouTube, that is where it should have ended, with YouTube coming down on Quantum TV's main channel. Quantum Apotheosis was renamed in Next Gen Gamers, and believe it or not, Quantum puts out very similar content there to what he puts on his main channel. Considering you can put the actual link into the Wayback Machine and find out that that's the account that was banned and should have prevented Quantum TV from ever creating another account on YouTube due to his hate speech. But there you go. Oh yes, and you are, or at least were, violating several terms of service, Quantum. Not just copyright abuse and hate speech, but child safety, harassment and cyberbullying, spam, scams and deceptive practices, and harmful and dangerous content, in addition to ban evading. Before we let Quantum return to spilling salt all over the place, one thing I do want to touch on is the fact that this very YouTube account that you're watching this video on was removed from YouTube for spam, scams, and deceptive practices when I did no such thing, and even though I got it back, there is no proof of me doing any of those things to deserve my channel getting deleted. Why hasn't Quantum TV's channel been banned for the exact same thing when there is proof that he's been doing it? YouTube, man, is getting harder and harder to give a damn about it every single day.
Why? Let it go. My thing is, people like ReviewTechUSA have been swatted, right? You know what it's like to be in a nasty situation that's uncomfortable, that's unjust, that you shouldn't have been in. You get it when it's you. You really do, and it's so fucked up.
I do agree with Quantum on this one. Someone being swatted is a terrible thing to be in because people have died because of them. But these people haven't swatted you, Quantum, and comparing getting swatted, things people have actually died because of, to racist emails is what I would call fucked up. Yes, it's messed up that you were supposedly sent racist emails, but you haven't shown proof that others have sent you those emails, and until you do, then I and everyone else is going to dismiss those claims. Burden of proof, Quantum. How many more times must we have this conversation, my dude? Furthermore, when you have been permanently banned from YouTube for the numerous TOS violations you have committed, Quantum, is the day when we'll all let it go. Okay?
And for me, it's annoying to see, these same people try to do these character assassination attempts, calling me a bad human being, quite literally on camera, as they literally sit up here attacking religion and sexual orientation, which violates YouTube's terms of service. But then in the same breath, claim that they care so much about YouTube's terms of service that they made videos called YouTube Failed to the Act Man and sided with Quantum TV. YouTube didn't side with me. I don't have influence over YouTube. YouTube looked at the evidence you provided and deemed that everything you said was a goddamn lie.
Oh, so now Quantum is saying YouTube didn't side with him? Firstly, yes, they did, because otherwise his channel would have been axed by now, and what YouTube said was that they don't investigate anything that isn't a current link. Everything we have provided was true, Quantum, and the only reason that you're still on the platform is due to negligence on YouTube's part. That's the only reason, and if I were you and I was ban evading, then what I'd try to do is fly under the radar so as not to attract attention to myself. Also, just because YouTube deemed or said something doesn't make it true, Quantum.
That's what happened, and you don't like that they saw that you lied. And now you're going after my religion and sexual orientation, and you're using manufactured Reddit posts and any other posts that I'm sure will pop up that are manufactured. You'll claim I wrote, and you'll just throw me under the bus, because why not?
2 videos I have covered Quantum TV's so-called vindication by YouTube, and twice he has failed to provide evidence that he is innocent of the claims that literally everyone who uses their brain against this lol cunt has trumped up against him. It's almost as if he wants this whole mess to continue, because it seems to get him views and more subscribers, God knows why. So Quantum, if you have evidence to back up the claim that you're innocent, where is it? You seem to be pretty confident and even brazen and, dare I say it, boastful that you have evidence that completely proves your innocence. Now, one of my commenters said in my previous video on you that he's willing to bet you don't have evidence, and quite frankly, I agree with him. Show us evidence, Quantum, otherwise you're talking out of your stupid, uneducated pie hole. Furthermore, no posts were manufactured. If they were about you, Quantum, then what they talked about came directly from you.
You're past the point where you got swatted. You're past the point of those allegations where you sexually assaulted a woman and then said she wanted it, right? You're past those allegations of stealing $200 with Big Cheese or from Big Cheese. You're past those allegations of literally, let's just say, banning every single person that mentioned your gastric bypass surgery, right? You're past that point where you were on camera using homophobic slurs. You're past all those outrage points that people were upset with you over. And so now you think it's okay to go back to harming another creator's image and attacking them. I don't know if it's to make yourself look better from all that past stuff. Personally, I think the worst one is your lack of respect for women, right? How you literally go and say that allegedly, let's say that, okay, you allegedly go out and tell a woman that she wanted you to fondle her. I mean, that's amazing that that can happen like that, and you're still on the platform.
What Quantum is doing here is basically he's bringing up that ReviewTechUSA has done some bad things in the past, but the major flaw with Quantum's logic here is that Rich apologized for those things in the past, something that Quantum TV has yet to do for all of the homophobic stuff he said on both YouTube and Twitter. He has yet to apologize to the Act Men of Mischief for falsely abusing copyright on their videos, which both of them fall under fair use. He's failed to apologize for a lot of things, and yet he seems to think that it's okay for him to do the most despicable shit imaginable, and everyone should just turn a blind eye. Yet whenever someone else uses a homophobic slur, Quantum seems to think it's his God-given right to try and take them down, even if they apologize for it. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black.
And you're outraged at somebody who has accusatory statements about posts. We're not even talking videos here, man. We're talking posts, right? Of things that were said. And you weaponize it and you try to make it seem like I'm just completely just awful. And that's your right to do so. It's freedom of speech, right? But then at the same time, though, you are going after my religion. There are a lot of Christian people out there. I'm not sure you're aware of this. And there are a lot of straight people out there. I'm not sure if you're also aware of this. Our sexual orientations and religions are not discounted or cheapened just simply because you dislike Quantum TV. So when you make fun of me by titling your thumbnail a Christian straight man, you are going after people who are Christian and straight. It is ridiculous.
Hello, it's Jesus, your Holy Father in heaven, and I have come to ask you a question. Why are you so salty?
The only thing ridiculous that I'm seeing is the fact that Quantum TV is still on YouTube, despite the fact that he has violated every rule, TOS, and community guideline in the YouTube book. And it's especially ridiculous that he seems to think that he speaks for all people in both groups, straight people and Christians, and literally no one is trying to weaponize posts against you, Quantum. We're simply bringing the knowledge of some of the stuff you say to light for all to see so that hopefully one day you will be banned from YouTube. If not for ban evading, then for bigotry and hate speech, which is the reason why you shouldn't be on the platform at all. It'll happen eventually, Quantum. Don't you worry.
And the reason I bring it up in my videos is because, again, your fans make all these advances, these sexual advances towards me in forms of cucumbers in my mouth or telling me that, like, I want dick or, like, all this, like, really disgusting stuff. It's like your behavior towards somebody who told you already where they stand with their sexual orientation and sexual identity and all that stuff. You don't care until you're told to care about other sexual orientations. It's amazing how that works.
Okay, so this one is going back to the people who are photoshopping cucumbers into Quantum TV's mouth, having him kissing guys and the like in the thumbnails, and it stems mostly from your own homophobia, Quantum. Personally, I think the guy needs to get to therapy because no one should be this homophobic. In fact, you shouldn't be homophobic at all. Besides that being one of the reasons that Quantum TV should have been banned from YouTube in the first place. Basically, Quantum, don't worry about what the LGBT community is doing. Leave them alone. Stop saying that the world would be better off with them dead and wishing they were Pulse victims, and then this wouldn't be a problem, Quantum. Besides, they're doing it because they know they'll get a rise out of you. Don't react to it, and they'll move on. It's that simple.
And this constant persecution of the Christian religion, I frankly have grown very sick of it, because this is kind of one of those things that shouldn't be happening on the platform in general, and it is dangerous because you could definitely inspire a lot of people with your influence to share these very anti-Christian beliefs and start thinking that they can just attack any Christian in this way.
Literally no one has attacked you for being Christian, Quantum. We haven't attacked you at all, in fact. We have made fun of you in different ways, but that doesn't mean that we've attacked you. We're just trying to prove your bigotry towards the LGBT community, which goes against not just YouTube's TOS, but every platform's TOS and even US law, I'm pretty sure. Also, Rich isn't being anti-Christian, he's making fun of you for your homophobia. I come from Alabama, man, and I can tell you that I have never seen anyone down here be as homophobic as you, and Alabama is the absolute worst state for the LGBT community. One last thing to ask here, but how exactly is what Rich doing inciting others to attack Christians or Christianity? Also, what the hell is going on with that constant screen flicking? Did you notice how it was swiping every which way?
And again, this speaks to the hypocrisy. You want me banned off the platform for what you think I've done.
Rangamundo, Quantum TV. We want you off the platform for the things that we know that you've done.
And you showed it to YouTube and they told you that, no, he's fine, leave him alone, move on. Sorry, but our decision won't change. And now you and the Act Man are putting all of your reputation and influence behind this slander, behind this bullshit, because you can't let it go and be told, no, you all are wrong.
No, we all are not wrong, Quantum. We have evidence of all the bad things you've said and done on YouTube, and they all come directly from you. Whether it be in YouTube videos or through tweets you've posted on Twitter, what we've dug up on you has come directly from you, and the only reason that you're still on YouTube is because the higher-ups on YouTube won't do their fucking jobs. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Just because YouTube didn't ban Quantum doesn't mean he's innocent. Quite the contrary. All it means is that YouTube's higher-ups are just shit at doing their job. Furthermore, Quantum, all the violations that you've committed that should have gotten you banned, and yet you haven't, means that Leafy is here should be given his YouTube channel back. And the same thing goes for Alex Jones and J-Station. You've done far worse than any of them, Quantum, and the fact that you're still on the platform is shocking. Or it would be if this weren't the new normal of YouTube.
And I don't care how hard you fight to try to weaponize what communities you have towards hatred or harassment. But imagine, though, let me word this in a way you can understand. How would you feel if instead of my picture looking like this was your mother, this was your sister, this was your brother, and I had doxed them on my community tab and put their faces out there for everybody to see looking like this because I thought it was funny?
Well, Quantum, considering that you doxed and called Agman's mother to try and get him to leave you alone, if you were to push it that far and post his mother's face in your community tab, I'm pretty sure Actman would come find you and knock your fucking teeth in. That's what Actman would do. I can't wait to see that boxing match. In addition to that, Quantum really has no leg to stand on with this one, due to specifically him calling Actman's mother. And you know how he got Actman's personal information? Well, Quantum, either you looked it up or your fans supplied you with that information, and no one should be supplying anyone's personal information out there, period. There is no justification for it, and it is disgusting that there are some people that do that.
And then I go on and I attack their sexual orientation and their religion, unapologetically. I'm pretty sure you'd want it off the platform, right? You would get it then if you saw your little boy right there on my community tab being doxxed.
Well, Quantum, that would never happen because most of us don't wish that the entirety of the LGBT community were victims of the second deadliest mass shooting in American history, and for those of us who have religions, at least, we don't go and spread it online because we don't want to be harassed like that. In other words, Quantum, you have no one to blame here but yourself. But let's assume that it does come to that, and that the roles were reversed. Yeah, if it were my family that you did this to, I would want to knock your fucking lights out. But if it were me specifically that you did this to, then I wouldn't care. I really wouldn't. You want to know why? Because I don't let that shit get to me. Another thing is that if what these people are saying is upsetting to you, then let me give you a little friendly advice on how I specifically deal with that. I go out of my way to avoid that content creator and any content that they put out. Simplicity itself. Stop being so salty, Quantum. He whines a bit more after this about how he's still a human being after everything that's happened over the past couple of months, to which I say, could have fooled me! Wishing death upon the entirety of the LGBT community, telling others to kill themselves, abusing DMCA, and the list goes on.
And this cheapening and discounting of my humanity, trying to pass it off that all of this harassment and all of this bad behavior is justified because we have a Wayback Machine and we think we have undeniable evidence on you that has been brought to YouTube and shut down, okay? That now all this is justified and he deserves it, you get what you get.
I don't know if Quantum has heard of the court case, Netbula LLC versus Cordiant Software Inc., and some word I can't pronounce, Polska USA Inc. versus Echo Star Satellite. Two well-known cases of the Wayback Machine being used to decide who was in the right. In other words, Quantum, if YouTube actually bothered to do their jobs and look at all the evidence that has been brought against you, you wouldn't be on the platform. And yes, Quantum, we are justified in getting you banned from YouTube due to your bad behavior.
Now you're stepping into a dangerous territory where humanity doesn't matter anymore. You're out for the vitriol for the vitriol. The blood just for the blood. You don't care about logic or reasoning anymore.
No, Quantum, any humanity, logic, and reasoning you had apparently died long ago because most rational thinking humans don't say and do the things that you say and do. Seriously, for anyone out there watching this who doesn't believe me, answer me honestly, how many people have you heard saying and doing the things Quantum TV has said and done, including calling a grown man's mother to get him to leave you, a grown adult yourself, alone? I can't name anyone, and I presume that you can't either, outside of Quantum TV.
And I get it. I know that's what you're after. I know that's what you want. But at the end of the day, this needs to stop. This is unnecessary. I didn't ask to be added on your little community post. I just want to make my television videos, talk to my consumers who I can help, change things for the better for consumer products, and I'm good with that. That's all I'm after on my platform.
Oh, so you own YouTube now, Quantum. Last I checked, it was Google who owns YouTube, not Quantum TV. To anyone that watches Quantum TV, if you're subscribed to him, you need to leave his channel right now. He's scamming you for TV settings that look like literal shit. He isn't actually a licensed TV calibrator in any sense of the word. He's also got a fake fundraiser going on his channel, and if it is real, he isn't giving most of the money to the fundraiser, but keeping it for himself. And he's doing all of this with YouTube's blessing. Quantum, the only reason you're on the platform is because you can smell the money that you can make from this little scam operation that you have going on, and I and everyone else are going to do whatever we can to get you banned from the platform that you should have been off of by now anyway.
If you want to talk about Diablo, do that. If you want to do whatever, do that, but just leave me out of it, guys. Like, at this point, like, I can't convince you, right? You've already made up your mind about me. I will never win an argument where the perception is that I'm a guilty human being, or I'm a horrible human being. Any attempt I make out of some common sense logic to try to say, hey, no, let me provide you proof, will only be twisted into, you see, he is a horrible human being because this and this and this. And you'll just create more reasons because you already perceive me in a certain way.
I have two pieces of advice for Quantum TV. One, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. All the attempts there have been for you to change and just simply say I'm sorry, you have thrown out the window and been completely unapologetic for. If you had owned up to what you said and apologized, then a lot of us would leave you alone. We would still want you banned from the platform, but you simply saying I'm sorry would be a good first step. It won't erase anything that you've done recently, but it is still a good first step. Number two is when you're saying that you're innocent, Quantum, you have to have evidence. Simply saying you're innocent and then moving on, hoping that nobody will question it, is not going to convince anybody that you are in the right. Quite the contrary. It just makes you look even more suspicious. Burden of proof, Quantum. I've explained this in the last 2 videos I've done on you, and you still don't have proof. Makes you wonder, right? Another thing, Quantum. Nobody is twisting what you say. We get what we have on you because it comes directly from you. Just saying. From here on in his video, he's just throwing a pity party and saying, oh, I'll never change your minds. Oh, I'm such a victim. Oh. Dude, how the hell did Quantum manage to create this video when we've nailed him to a fucking cross? Anyway, now that we've gotten through that mess of a video means that we have finally come to the end of my mess of a video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys!